Welcome to Warp Zone 9, Warpcast Episode 6. Today I got Anthony,
Hey.
Dane, Denton. So, it's been 2 weeks since our last get-together. A lot has happened in the world of Nintendo. I'm sure you guys have heard a thing or two
Couple
in
things.
the world of Nintendo. What have you guys been playing recently, last 2 weeks? Anything?
I've
Gaming?
been playing through Fire Emblem Awakening again, this time on Lunatic Classic. And
You're crazy.
hating myself.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point where I'm literally breeding the last of my first generation people just so I have more units.
You said you were playing World of Tanks.
Yeah. That's just something that I've been playing for a long time. It's been free to play, easy to waste a lot of time. But now I've been starting Pokemon back up because I never actually finished Pokemon Y. And it's been, a year and a half now.
Good game, though.
Yeah. I got to the second gym and then I just sat my DS down and didn't pick it back up.
I know another game you guys have been playing, or have played at least. Mario Party 10.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
oh my dear lord.
Still not a fan of the everybody in the same car for the regular 4-player party, but the Bowser party is so much fun.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I have a comment on the car thing in regards to Mario Party 10. Did you guys play Mario Party 9 on the Wii?
I played it, but I didn't own it. I skipped
I didn't get a
that
chance.
one for getting it.
Yeah, that was the first one to introduce the car mechanic. And Suichiro Nishiya, who was the game director at ND Cube, the company that worked on Mario Party 10, he's the reason that they had the car mechanic is, he says, in past installments, everyone would move separately through the board. As a result, the actions of the other players often didn't affect you. You could just look at the TV screen and when it was your turn during the minigames. In Mario Party 10, though, players move together in a car, so each player's action will affect the others, meaning you'll need to keep an eye on the TV screen. This way, everyone's constantly involved, and we want to keep the flow of the game at a good pace.
And I guess that's fair. I mean, because that's not... I'd be okay with everybody in the same car as long as you can keep going around the track more and more and more. Like, the little 30-minute games aren't long enough. We want to play, like, huge... I want the option of being able to play a huge marathon of, like...
50-turn
game. Yeah, where it takes,
Yeah.
like, 3-4 hours to finish the game.
Yeah, there's it shows you like different maps and shows you how long that particular map will take.
Yeah, and they're all...
What do you think?
an hour and
what do you
less.
think of the implementation of boss battles that they have? Kind of like you're going through a board on like Mario 3, where it's kind of like you get to a castle.
That was kind of cool, especially with the whole last hit bonus. So if you're playing it right, you could be in second, but if you get the last hit on the boss, you're in first now, and so you get it all. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool. We had fun with those too.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I would prefer them to go back to the old school style, but also like the idea of like boss battles and stuff. So I'd like for them to keep that.
Do that like every 5 turns or something like that.
Yeah. So. The latest releases on the Nintendo eShop, we'll go through them quick. We've got Dot Arcade. Dot Arcade is a game that plays you know how like back in the old days, like there'd be games that were just made out of lights, just like little dots.
Yeah.
That's what the Dot Arcade is.
Okay.
It's supposed to look like an old school like arcade machine that uses just lights, and it's even got the marquees on the side where it's just got like the arcade game art. So it's kind of like a vertical screen, but on the side it's got the marquee. So, also on the eShop, Lego Ninjago Shadow of Ronin and Namco Museum on the Wii U Virtual Console. Classics like Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, Galaga, and Pole Position, and Dig Dug.
Those have been good in the past. I know I have it for the GameCube version of the Namco Museum or bundle or whatever it was then. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, they're fun classic games.
Well, yeah.
Everybody loves Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And Miss Pac-Man. So, apparently the new Nintendo 3DS, the standard edition, was filed with the FCC in North America.
Oh.
So, would you be at all interested if the standard side, not the XL, which we got, would you be at all interested if Nintendo released the new Nintendo 3DS in North America?
You know, I think I would. I've not had a chance to play around with the XLs at all, but if I'm going to go up to the next one, I feel it's kind of like the phone craze. Things are getting larger and larger and larger, and I just want something that fits comfortably. Not necessarily always in my hand, but something that'll fit in my pocket, and I don't got to worry about sitting down and breaking it.
What's your opinion on interchangeable faceplates to customize your system to your
Yes, please.
personal interests?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I remember the Xbox had that. The Xbox 360 had it when it first came out.
Did you actually get faceplates for that?
I did not, but I know people who dumped so much money on those. They had like a wall with 20 different faceplates.
Turns into collectibles.
Yeah, it's another collectible. You know that people would collect them, switch them out daily, weekly, whatever. 52 faceplates, one for each day or each week of the year.
Especially with a handheld where you can kind of show it off a little bit more than a system where people have to come over to see it. I mean,
and give this to us because Japan gets all the really cool DSs, like the Charizard-backed ones, and it gives us the ability to be like, oh yeah, I got a Charizard-backed one that I didn't have to go and have somebody actually physically paint it.
That'd be cool even if they just sold them online.
Yeah.
Because I know availability with that kind of stuff is kind of rough for us in North America.
Yeah.
Just going out to the store and just finding it.
Order it,
So, you guys, were you guys excited at all, or are you still excited for Zelda Wii U?
I'm still excited for it.
I always want new Zelda.
It looks pretty sweet still from the trailer, and the whole like horse mechanic as you're running it dodges trees. I don't know why, that just makes me really happy.
I'm sure you guys heard that Nintendo is focusing. Last year they said that the game would be out by the end of this year, but now they've announced that they want to make sure that it's the ultimate Zelda game, and that they didn't say that it wouldn't come out this year, but they're not focusing on making sure that it does. They're going to take their time and make sure that it's the best.
And I would rather them take their time, get everything they want in there, have it all make sense, instead of trying to shoehorn stuff in, and you have just a disaster because they want to meet some time deadline.
A delayed game is better than a rushed game. That's half the game it could have been.
Standard Blizzard game versus something like KOTOR 2. KOTOR 2 had like hours and hours of content cut because they wanted to meet the Christmas deadline, and there's still hidden files on disc where there's 2 other planets, another playable character, just so much content that was cut and lost because people wanted to make the holiday dollar.
It's always interesting when people find that kind of stuff in games like years and years later.
Yeah.
Like on your favorite game, like, oh, there's this data that was found in this game copy or whatever that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You guys ever play any of the Pokemon Rumble games?
Don't think so, no.
It was originally, I think the first one was a WiiWare game, and then they released a full packaged copy on 3DS, and then there was also one on the Wii U eShop. It's basically like a brawler. I guess he plays these little Pokemon. The Wii one, they even released like little figures you could scan in, like it was like pre-amiibo.
Yeah. Those were hugely popular originally too, because it was one of those you just buy it and you wouldn't know which one was in it until you opened it.
Yeah, it was like a blister.
Blind packs.
Yeah.
So a new game called Pokemon Rumble World was rated in Australia. That's all we know about it, really. We also found out that Nintendo registered the domain name PokemonRumbleWorld.com.
Ooh.
So we don't know what platform it's for, or system, or anything like that. But looks like we're getting another entry in the series. Supposed rumors is that it's supposed to work with the Pokemon amiibo that are out now.
Okay.
Like Pikachu.
Oh, okay. So it'll be for either the Wii U, or the new 3DS since that instant anime.
I would say being interchangeable.
Yeah. I was bummed that I never bought any of the Pokemon like little figurines that they released.
I didn't either. Yeah. It was one of those. The game it didn't look super interesting. I had too many other Nintendo games to play.
It turned me off that you didn't know which one. If you bought one, you didn't know which one you were getting. It's like, I don't want to buy doubles. It's like, so forget it.
Oh, you mean nobody cracked like the serial code or anything like that?
No, not for those. No.
No. Okay.
Apparently, I did read that you can try scanning certain amiibo, like random ones inside the game, and it reads them as certain Pokemon.
Okay.
Splatoon. Some bad news for some people. Nintendo confirmed that the game will not feature voice chat for online play.
Honestly, that really doesn't surprise me, with them trying to be more of a family-oriented than the other. Yeah. I mean, it's more of a kid's game, but it's still going to be a shooter of some kind.
It's going to have a toxic community. There is always, regardless of what genre you're in.
Because even Mario Kart gets bad sometimes, the little voice chat that it does have.
It's the eternal struggle for Nintendo, because if they did put in voice chat and something happened where some people met up with the wrong crowd in the real world because of the online voice chat, then that'd get all over the news. Yeah. And then it would probably be even worse publicity than Nintendo just not having the voice chat in there in the first place. Oh.
And, I mean, that seems to be okay with me, too. I mean, we'll have to see how the game goes, but it sounds like it's not going to... I mean, you'll need teamwork, but it won't need to be like, get over here right now. Like,
they'll probably have,
just gotta go paint stuff.
They'll probably have, like, quick chat or...
like, literally push a D-pad.
Like, hot icons. You hold down a button, something pops up on screen, you have, like, a little circle of all the various commands or requests.
Absolutely. Hopefully that's the case. Did you guys know about the Zelda Netflix rumor?
I
did, and I got really excited about it.
So, recently someone asked Iwata in an interview specifically about that possibility, and Iwata replied, "As of now, I have nothing new to share with you in regards to the use of RIPs for any TV shows or films, but I can at least confirm that the article in question is not based on correct information."
And there's the word.
Yeah.
So he did not say no.
He's not denying the fact that it... He's not saying it doesn't exist in its entirety.
It's
just currently, you got a few things wrong, so... Leave it open for interpretation,
things, whether it's maybe not Netflix or,
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah, it's a Hulu exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the original rumor source came out of, like, the Wall Street Journal, which is fairly reputable.
Yeah.
I feel like they wouldn't just post, like, oh, I heard from
I would imagine, most of it had to have been... They at least had to have pretty reliable information for most of it, and then some of the filler maybe just wasn't 100%.
What do you guys want? Do you want or care to see a Zelda?
So long as it doesn't... So long as it's not corny, like the early 90s Legend of Zelda cartoon.
You wouldn't want to see, like, a sequel to that cartoon in live action?
Probably not. If they took one of the various Zelda worlds or a completely new one just for that, and they had an ongoing adventure, cool, fantastic. If they tried branching it off of something like the early 90s cartoon, I feel a lot of it would be lost just because they tried shoehorning a story around something that had depth, but they went about it in the wrong direction in the almost comical cartoon era, where there's bumbling idiots all over the place, can't do anything to save their lives, and the hero always wins the day because of a cocky swing of the sword and a good attitude.
So, specific dialogue aside, in general, would you be okay with Link talking?
Yes.
Yeah. You wouldn't have a problem like, oh, he shouldn't talk. Like, that's not his thing.
No, I'm cool with him talking.
Okay.
I was going to say, I would take a show with him talking over a show where every time he rolls or moves, he makes grunting noises, and that's it, the entire show. Yeah.
It would be a little weird. I'm interested in that if this does come true, if that opens the door for voice acting in future Zelda games, like them actually recording dialogue instead of just being the text. Do you want to see dialogue in the games?
I don't know. Link as a silent protagonist has always been one of those things that just kind of cements you as being able to identify with him. Because, yes, you see the look of shock on his face during cutscenes, or get a general sense of the atmosphere. Spoiler alert, like when the Great Deku Tree dies. But you've always felt like you were Link, or you were at least identifying with him. If now all of a sudden there's dialogue, then he's going to have his own personality, and you might not be able to identify as well with him.
I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys still playing Smash Brothers for Wii U or 3DS?
Yeah. We still play it quite a bit at my house.
Are you excited for Mewtwo?
We are.
So, Sakurai commented on Mewtwo. He says, about the delivery of Mewtwo that everybody is worrying about, it is pretty much done. We are planning to release Mewtwo, so please wait for the announcement. We plan to release Mewtwo pretty soon.
So what everybody's been hoping for since Brawl.
Well, since they announced it, yeah. Well, and then they announced that they were doing Mewtwo with, if you got both copies, so a bunch of people were like...
So, as of this recording, it is March 30th. The cutoff date to register to get Mewtwo for free is tomorrow, the 31st. Correct. Tomorrow's the last day. You got to register both for 3DS and Wii U copies.
Mine was registered the first day the Wii U one came out.
Sakurai also commented on that he's very well aware of the outlandish character requests that people make on Miiverse for what the characters they want to see in Smash Brothers, like Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Which some of that stuff is...
Or Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yeah. Now, see, the Goku one, they should just make a Mii that's like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can. The way some people make their Mii's, it's almost you can almost do that with any. Except for the fact that in the game they were like the costumes.
Yeah,
some people.
I mean, you could maybe find something similar. I mean, it wouldn't be the exact same, but yeah, I don't think they'll be able to get the rights to that one.
He also mentioned that the character Takamaru from the Famicom only release, Takamaru's Ninja Castle, was almost considered as a playable character. I believe in the Wii version he's a Sis trophy. He's like a samurai.
Yeah. Yep.
He did make the cut due to low familiarity with the majority of Nintendo fans. Like, nobody really knows who he is outside of Japan.
Well,
which is valid, but at the same time, I mean,
look at Marth.
Like, Marth and
Marth
Roy weren't. I mean,
they predated an American release of Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Completely.
But they could have also been doing that specifically to get people.
Well, a little bit of good marketing.
Yeah,
I guess the main difference is that in Japan they had still been releasing Fire Emblem games regularly, whereas there's only been one Takamaru's Ninja Castle, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
that's true too. I mean, it just would have been interesting to have a character. Those are sometimes the ones that are the most fun to play, the ones that nobody knows. Like you're like, I'm gonna be this guy. Who is that?
Yeah.
So the big news. Probably one of the biggest things that's happened in Nintendo's history in a long time is the announcement that they are entering the mobile market.
Yeah.
Heard about that too.
Yeah, so they are partnering with a company called DeNA. It's spelled capital D, lowercase e, N-A.
Yeah.
So it's pronounced DNA. Nintendo is going to be developing the games, as they always have, and DeNA is going to be basically the publisher, releasing them on the mobile market. So... how do you guys feel about this?
I guess it just depends on how they go about it. I saw a comic today where it showed Mario going along. He finds Toad and says, "I'm sorry, Mario, but your princess is in another castle. But you can buy 2 princesses for $5. With a super jumbo pack, at the best value, you get 5 princesses for $8.
Yeah.
Little out there as far as... you know, but something like that I feel might ruin an experience.
I mean, if they do it right, because I mean that's kind of the way the Pokemon stuff is for the
Pokemon Shuffle.
Yeah, Pokemon Shuffle. If you wanted to, you could spend real money on gems to get like more hearts and stuff. I haven't felt the need to yet, but I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if Pokemon Shuffle was one of the first games that we saw on mobile.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. And as long as if it's games like that where it's similar to other games, but they're just the Nintendo IPs. I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, anything that helps spread Nintendo.
Yeah, as far as you were saying, Iwata did comment that Nintendo does not intend to choose payment methods that may hurt Nintendo's brand image or our intellectual property.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they don't want to do more harm than good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Though seeing like a reiteration of like Yoshi's Cookie. You know, one of Nintendo's Tetris-esque games. See that become a mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've been seeing speculation on is what if the next Animal Crossing was on mobile, on your cell phone?
That would actually be kind of sweet.
Could have like Bluetooth or some sort of like an NFC where all of a sudden you go past and you see someone else's village, could hop by and visit them. I'm okay with this.
I feel like that would kind of explode because Animal Crossing is really popular in the 3DS, and they put on cell phones or tablets where way more people have access to those.
Yeah.
I do think it would be fun. I doubt it would happen, and it wouldn't really matter because we don't have as much population. But I think it would be sweet if you could import your teams from your Pokemon games onto your phone and battle people when you walk by them. Like you get a little, alert, and then you can like battle right from your phone.
Like you can battle other people's teams, but they're controlled by computer AI.
No, you battle somebody else. Like I walk by and have my team, and he has his. We both get a little alert that says like if you want to battle.
I like both ideas. Where you could have a direct battle.
I just think that'd be fun to walk down the street.
You could be walking down the street, and they would talk.
5 hours later, you're like, "Oh, I passed somebody."
Yeah, I passed somebody. And, oh, look, my Charmander got his butt kicked by a Graveler.
Yeah,
you know, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, just randomly picks one of your team, throws it out against someone.
Wouldn't work, like I said, though, wouldn't work quite as well around here as opposed to, like, Japan, where, you know, you walk down the street and you get
300 pings.
Yeah.
So, Nintendo's really serious about this. Both companies purchased a large share of the other's stock. So they both are heavily invested in one another.
That's a smart way of doing it, though. Yeah. Really, I mean, neither one can really completely screw the other one over.
Says DeNA is positive that the mobile gaming industry is only getting larger and larger. They believe that partnering with Nintendo will help continue to grow that market. Again, Nintendo is not going to give up making games for dedicated Nintendo platforms. So on that, Nintendo at the same announcement announced the NX, which they are calling just a video game platform. They didn't say it was a system, console, or portable. They just said it was a platform. Last speculation is that the N stands for Nintendo and X is like cross.
So it's
crossing
to
everything.
Connect all
like mobile, console,
handheld, all this stuff together, which would be kind of cool. Sign in to be able to like see all your
So that is one thing that DeNA is in charge of, is they're making a new. So it's like basically the replacement for Club Nintendo. It's like your account that you log into, and it shows you like everything, like all the games you bought on mobile, on your console, on your handheld. And probably the idea is that they're going to have like a web store where you can go in and buy games on your phone, and then if your system's like at home on standby mode, it'll just start downloading it right away. So it'll be there when you get home.
Which is like what Steam does now. Yeah. Because I can leave my computer on and during the Steam summer and winter sales, and then buy games at work and have them installed when I get home.
12:01, I'm out of the bar. Steam sale!
Yeah, pretty much.
So hopefully they have a lot of sales like that, where it's kind of like you just open the store, it's like, oh, this game's like, I got a good sale going on, just buy it right there.
And then they could also do some more...
It's the easiest way to make money.
Yeah, if it's all linked, you could also do some like cross-platform promotion stuff, where like you can get like whatever, like there's a new Donkey Kong game or something for Wii U. Well, you get that one, you get whatever the last 3DS one that came out was, like together for like whatever, 20% off or something total. But
you also said that several mobile companies were knocking on Nintendo's door and offered similar deals. DeNA was chosen because the company had a, quote, passion to work with Nintendo that impressed Nintendo.
Good for them.
Iwata said DeNA attacked Nintendo with a passion, so we were impressed by them. So it's definitely interesting. For years, Nintendo said that they would never release games on anything but their own hardware. But I guess they realized that the mobile market, like everybody, has a cell phone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and to be fair, I mean, no offense to Sony, but the mobile market is really their only competition. Is Nintendo's only handheld competition, really.
Yeah.
I mean, so if they get into that helps them get their name out and get hopefully more handhelds sold to people that don't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have said that one of the big reasons they're doing this is to help get more reach with their intellectual properties, get more kids familiar with Nintendo brands like Mario, and then they play a Mario game on their cell phone or tablet, and then they're like, oh, there's a Mario game on this system that I don't have. I want that.
Yeah. Collector's appeal.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, anything that can help Nintendo's reach, I guess, is a good thing.
Yeah, as long as the games they make are good. Which they usually are, so I mean, I'm optimistic, but we'll wait and see.
So, is there anything that you guys have seen on the internet recently that you guys want to talk about?
Nothing major.
No, not a whole lot.
So, as far as just, Nintendo announced that they're bringing games to mobile. Is there anything you guys ever play games on your phone or anything right now? Like
when I got my first smartphone, I downloaded a few games here and there, and then as my phone has grown older, the battery life has grown poorer. So I stray away from most games like that just because I don't want my battery to die halfway through the day when I need to make a call or I'm waiting to hear something from someone. But with a better battery life, absolutely. I would probably dive right into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I have never really gotten into a single cell phone game. I've dabbled here and there. I remember one game I downloaded was like a bootleg copy of Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
where you control like a cursor on screen with two virtual
joysticks. Well, I know a number of my friends have put emulators on their phones, play Kirby or whatever from the Game Boy era, Pokemon, and those have always had a latency issue because, well, phone hardware is very limited. Plus, you have a third-party emulator that's not perfect, and so if all of a sudden you could play Kirby on your phone without any issue,
if Nintendo released a hardware attachment for your cell phone,
the Nintendo phone,
that, or if they released like a thing that's snapped on, they gave you like D-pad and actual buttons to play like
stuff like that. I've seen, but
would be something like that? Would you want to buy something like that if it meant you could play some of your favorite games?
I think so.
Yeah.
If it was made by Nintendo, I knew it would last, so yeah, I'd probably get it then, as opposed to like the third-party ones that I don't really, never really tried to buy, because it's like, okay, well, this could last 2 years, it could last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So that's the biggest news that happened was the mobile announcement, NX, and the Zelda being delayed. So some interesting news, some sad news, but in the end, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So I guess that wraps it up.
Okay.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yep.
Thank you, Dane.
Yep.
Den. We're out. See you later, guys.